Skinamarink, the scariest movie of all time, is what some people are saying, and do we believe that or not? Well, we'll get to that in this review. But before we get any further, I want to go ahead and ask you to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and check out our Indiegogo for our horror film we are trying to fund currently. A couple of days left, and really appreciate all the help and donations and share you can do. Everything goes a long way. But let's talk about Skinamarink. So Skinamarink is a movie that I feel very much so started a very fast campaign once it went viral on TikTok because people were dubbing it the scariest movie of all time. Something that was nightmare fuel and just gonna leave you there just wondering what is happening next. So does this movie really take all of that and give you a good experience? So first and foremost, let's get into what this movie is all about. So Skinamarink is a Canadian experimental horror film from 2022. That's what I'm reading right here. Directed by Kyle Edward Ball. And I think that if you look at what Kyle has done in the past, you definitely see where Skinamarink was born from. He has a YouTube channel up and everything. Definitely check it out if you want. But I do believe that there was this sort of progression in his work, and Skinamarink is sort of this like end all be all that very much so encompasses everything he's done, because this movie is a very different movie than your average horror film. Not many jump scares, but the jump scares are very effective when they do happen. A very moody, slow burn type of feel to this movie. You have these two kids that awaken in a house all by themselves, wondering where is their father. The doors are missing, the windows are gone. How will they ever escape? They're only illuminated by some light from a TV, and that's about it. And they start hearing this strange voice calling to them to come wherever this voice is. And they start hearing a strange voice that is calling to them, and they start seeing these weird shapes appear in everything. And as the audience member, you're there fully embracing everything happening as well, because you start to see shadows in the darks, things moving, you start to see things start to form, and you start to hear other noises as well, and you're there wondering what is real, what is not, what is going on. I can't see anything. And when you finally see it, it just scares you a lot. And I really do think that this movie is effective in that way. Now, I did get the chance to see this as a screener thanks to Bayview Entertainment, who are the distributors for this. So I saw it at home, but I do definitely believe that a theatrical experience with this would have intensified it even more, just due to the sound design and the image quality, being at a bigger screen and everything. Completely would have changed this. So I very much so do think that the experience is going to differ wherever you decide to watch this, whether you go to the theater or you watch it at home. Now the question is, which one should you do? So here's how I'm going to lay it down, because I don't want anybody to be mad at me for recommending or not recommending. So I think if you are somebody who enjoys experimental movies that definitely take a left approach to everything and go way outfield, this is your movie. This is your bread and butter, because it does something different that you don't really see a lot of mainstream horror do, where it is very much so more relying on your own imagination instead of showing you everything, and it is very slow. I do enjoy slow burns myself, and I think that that is something that goes into my personal preference. But if you don't like slow burns or anything like that, there's nothing wrong with that. All of us have our own preferences when it comes to media. This might not be the movie for you. I'm just going to say it. This movie does go on a bit with very long static shots where you're just looking into darkness. You're just seeing creepy sounds, things like that. And so that's very much so what this movie is at its core. It is a experimental art film, in my opinion. And if you've ever gone to a museum or anything and you see a lot of these films being shown there, it has that same feel and vibe to it, which I don't mind, but I know a lot of people will. So that's why I'll say, maybe you should wait for streaming if you just want to catch it at home. I feel like you'll still get the same experience just watching it in the dark by yourself and all of that, because this film does make you think after you watched it and you're in the dark going to sleep. You might remember some of the things you saw. But like I said, it is not for everyone. I don't think this is the scariest movie of all time like it was being dubbed through marketing and everything. It is effective. It is scary. But I don't know if I would recommend it to everyone. I know there's select people I would recommend this to in my life as well, and others I do not even dare tell them, because I know that they will be mad at the end. So overall, like I said, if you like experimental, if you like slow burns, if you want to see something different, this is definitely your movie. But if you don't like any of that and you want something that's gonna genuinely be there to entertain and frighten you and all of that at the same time, this ain't your movie for real. Let me tell you that. I don't want anybody to go out there and spend their money and then hate it and then bash it online or whatever just because people are saying it's the scariest movie and go watch it and all of that. I don't want people to be pissed, so I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm always here to tell you the truth, and this is the truth. If you like experimental, long, slow burn movies, this is your movie. This is your bread and butter. It does something different. It does something new. It's interesting and all of that. But if you don't watch this. Go watch Megan or go watch Plane. Like, those are very different movies. So nobody's preference is being knocked or anything. I just know that this is a movie that I see very much so being pushed to everybody, and it's not for everybody. I want people to enjoy this movie because they're going into it knowing what they're going into, not going into this movie just because it's hyped and then getting mad at the end and spending their money, because you definitely go out and spend your money in the theaters. So overall, like I said, I enjoyed it. It is experimental. It is a slow burn, but it is horrifying. And it is very interesting and a good concept, in my opinion, to explore. I feel like a lot of this new horror that we're seeing, such as we see in Skinamarink, such as we saw we're going to the World's Fair, and we're going to see in the Outer Waters, is an interesting genre that's developing in horror. And I feel like a lot of its elements will be borrowed into other horror movies that come out later on as years go. So I think it definitely breaks ground. It is different, it is new, and it's fresh. And at the same time, not everybody has to enjoy it. That's something I don't understand why it gets pushed that way. But it is what it is. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on Skinamarink, if you enjoyed it or not. I've been seeing the opposite end of reactions on my other videos already done for it. People said it's the most boring movie they've watched, that they were hated watching it. They turned it off halfway. And other people have said they've rewatched it multiple times. They want to see what they can find in the movie hidden throughout. They watched it in the dark. They watched it with friends just to see their reactions. And it's okay. We can enjoy things in different ways. So anyways, let me know your thoughts and your opinions on Skinamarink. If you watched it or not. Did you like the movie? Did you not? Also, I will be doing a more breakdown explanation on the whole movie itself. After watching it a couple of times, I feel like we can come to some sort of understanding of what the movie was doing and what exactly happened in it. So that will be coming out this Friday, and Skinamarink will be opening in theaters this Friday, and I think it goes to streaming sometime in February. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions. I already did a video talking about Outer Waters, another movie that's being sort of compared with Skinamarink, so go check out that live. And we do have our Servant Season 4 theories coming out later today, so stay tuned for that video as well. But as always, that's going to do it for me. We are still trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. We are still funding our Indiegogo, so check out our horror movie we are funding down below. And anything goes a long way. Donations, shares, all of that, so really would appreciate it. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.